Hello and welcome to Basic Spanish for OT, PT, and SLP clinicians. My name is Juanita and I will be your host. I am an occupational therapy assistant as well as the author of this book, Basic Spanish for OT, PT, and SLP clinicians in the acute hospital setting. This book, as well as the ebook, can be purchased on Amazon.com. I will leave a link on the channel. So, today we are actually stepping away from the book, and I am going to start a new series called Las Cosas en la Casa. So, the things in the house. And today we're looking at the kitchen. So, with that being said, vamos a empezar. So, many of us, I particularly am a clinician in the acute hospital setting, thus the name of the book, the acute hospital setting. But this series of videos can be helpful to many people who are home health therapists. And even if you're a skilled nursing facility, if you're acute rehab facility, this can be helpful to you. Because many times if you're doing a treatment session, you're doing a treatment session in the gym. Many facilities have a kitchen setup. Most facilities now generally have a kitchen setup. So if you want to tell the patient to go to the refrigerator or go to the stove, they have that set up in the kitchen, in the gymnasium. So learning how to be able to say this in Spanish is very helpful if you have a client that maybe doesn't understand English or they don't speak English very well. As I've said in the previous videos, if you have a certified medical interpreter with you, then I always suggest that is your first go-to. But unfortunately, especially in the time and the seasons we're in, that's not always the case. And many people find themselves in situations where you're trying to do the best you can. So this is not to take you away from using an interpreter, but it's giving you a tool in your kit so that it can help you when you're working with these patients. So the first thing is, how do you say kitchen? La cocina, la cocina, la cocina. So that's kitchen. Now I will go through things, different items in the kitchen. So here's the thing. If you are working with a patient, the best thing that you can use is visual cues. So if you say a word and that is not the word that they use for it, one of the things that you can ask the person is, ¿Cómo se dice? So let me give you an example with the first one. Refrigerator. The word that I'm going to use is la nevera. La nevera. La nevera. So if you're talking about the refrigerator and you use the word la nevera, but the person doesn't seem to understand what you're saying, or maybe you said it incorrectly, what you can do is you can look at the refrigerator, point to the refrigerator, and ask, ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? And that is to say, how do you say? Because one of the things that you will come to find out is that different lands or different places use different words sometimes for the same thing. So every word in Spanish is not used by every particular land or every particular area. So in Panama, they may use one word. In Costa Rica, they may use another word. In Mexico, they may use another word, and so forth. So you see where I'm going. So it's important to find out what word is used by your client. Okay, and you can ask that simply, as I said, by saying, ¿Cómo se dice? So let's keep going. For refrigerator, it's la nevera. Okay. The next one is easy. It's freezer. So freezer in Spanish is el freezer. El freezer. El freezer. So that one is relatively easy to remember or to pronounce. The next is countertop. La cubierta. La cubierta. La cubierta. La cubierta. The next is oven. El horno. El horno. El horno. El horno. The next one is stove. La estufa. La estufa. La estufa. La estufa. The next is microwave. El microondas. El microondas. El microondas. El microondas. Sink. So for the sink in the kitchen. El fregadero. El fregadero. El fregadero. El fregadero. Dishes. So one dish would be el plato. El plato. But if you're talking about dishes in general, los platos. Los platos. Los platos. The next is fork. So the one that you spear with, a fork. El tenedor. El tenedor. El tenedor. So if you're talking about one, it's el tenedor. But if you're talking about more than one, los tenedores. Los tenedores. Los tenedores. The next one is spoon. One, la cuchara. La cuchara. La cuchara. More than one, las cucharas. Las cucharas. Las cucharas. The knife. One, el cuchillo. El cuchillo. El cuchillo. More than one. Los cuchillos. Los cuchillos. Los cuchillos. Cups or cup. La taza. La taza. La taza. More than one. Las tazas. Las tazas. Las tazas. Glasses, like a glass of water. El vaso. El vaso. El vaso. But more than one. Los vasos. Los vasos. Los vasos. The dishwasher. El lavaplatos. El lavaplatos. El lavaplatos. The pantry. La despensa. La despensa. La despensa. The cabinets. The cabinets where you put your cans and so forth. El gabinete. El gabinete. El gabinete. The table. So the kitchen table where you eat at. La mesa. la mesa, la mesa. And chair, la silla, la silla, la silla. Okay? I'm already past the 10-minute mark, and I normally would do you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to skip that because I really am intent on making these videos 10 minutes or less. That way you can go back and listen. This is one of those videos where you can turn it on and just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. That's where your learning is going to come from. That's where all of our learning comes from, even with things that we do as clinicians. That's where we learn. We get better as we practice. So the more you practice this, the better it could be. On a previous video, I also said one of the things that you can do is get little sticky notes and put it on these items in your kitchen, so that can help you as a visual cue when you see it. And I'm going to la cocina and I need an el tenedor or la cuchara, and it will get you in the habit of practicing these words. So, with that being said, gracias por venir, and I will see you in the next video. Adios.